We'll go live in 10 seconds here, or less. Oh, Stone,
And welcome to Keep Your Head Up Hockey. I'm your host, Jamie Young, and we've got Coach Nose and J-Dog in the house. It's Game 7. Get excited. Gonna be a big one, folks, and we're gonna get you all prepared. Obviously a quick shout out to Core 4. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for tuning into our pregame shows and all of our shows. We really appreciate you. But yeah, big game, boys. Are you excited, J-Dog? How are you feeling, buddy?
Jacked up, actually pretty happy. Watching some replay of the games that they played previous right now. I got my brother and I picked up my my youngest son, Brett, from Meaford, and we're hanging out. We haven't hung out in about a little over a year, around a year anyway, and he's been doing his training in Meaford. So we're jacked up to get off the base and hang out and have a couple drinks and do some family time.
That's what it's all about, man. Family and friends getting together, sharing the passion for this Leaf Nation. But all the support that we can get, everybody's got to be watching. Get excited. Dylan, how are you feeling? You pumped up, buddy?
I'm getting there, bro. I've been just kind of staying steady all day, staying focused. Got to get out there and cheer. Got to, support the team. I sound like a player. No, it's I'm probably not as nervous as some of these players, but I am definitely geared up for this one. My phone battery's been dwindling all day with the text messages, the buddies back and forth. Certainly everyone I know and all my Leaf buddies want us to keep going here. There's probably some people in my life that would rather the Leafs get bumped out, so I had more time on my hands here. But unfortunately, I'm number one priority is watching hockey, and tonight's going to be just a doozy of a game. I'm looking forward to it, but lots to chat about, right?
Well, Game 7, have we not just played 2 in a row? That's what Sheldon Keefe said anyway. He said when he was asked, are you ready for Game 7? What's your game plan? He's like, well, we just played 2 Game 7s, two games that we needed to win, and we did. And now all of a sudden, we're in that do or die phase here. And we've been here before with Boston, boys. And come on, there's some nightmares I've had about, that Game 7 when we lost, 4-1 in the third period with 10 minutes to go. And we end up losing the game. I've had lots of nightmares. I've cried lots of tears about that game. But you know what? Payback is a bitch. And everybody says that history repeats itself. I don't think so tonight. Tonight is our night. The Leafs are going to bring it. They played really good those last 2 games. Guys, what do you think about Game 7 with Boston? Is this not a dream scenario for the Leafs, J-Dog?
Oh, absolutely. The best part about it for me right now is that my son is here, who's a Boston fan. So, I can't wait. Now, in saying that, he wasn't really into hockey as much, but definitely like to rub it in my face a little bit when they did win. He wasn't too bad. His brother, when New Jersey ever beat Toronto, I definitely heard about it for like weeks on end. So it's definitely be a little different. But we're having a few drinks after we get a couple into them. You never know, if they start winning, I might start hearing about it.
Don't you just love that with the households with the multiple teams? That's always awesome, especially when it comes to playoff time. Families can be broken apart in this kind of situation for sure. Yeah. I don't know. Unfortunately, I try to surround myself with Leaf fans at all times. I don't know if I could stand a Boston fan next to me, especially when I had a Boston neighbor when they lost back in 2018, and the neighbor kept coming out of the house, and I was watching it with my brother. We had it projected on the buddy's garage in the backyard, so it's this massive 30-foot screen, and the neighbor's coming out, and we're cheering and we're going crazy, and he's coming out and he's like, oh well, that's too bad. And then the Boston got one in the last, in that 10-minute mark, and then he's like, oh well, we got a chance. He comes out every time, and then finally the neighbor comes out after they scored OT, and my brother and I were just like, what just happened? Am I dreaming? Did I get, is this real life? So yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope we erase the history tonight. An opportunity for the Leafs to erase that history, leave it in the past, never bring it up again. We'll never talk about it again. We'll be talking about this night and this win. And yeah, we just did play 2 game sevens. I like Keith's demeanor. I like his composure in that interview, Jamie. And I think that's the best answer you could possibly give. And they played like it was a game seven. So as long as they play like they did the last two games, we're golden. There's no excuse not to win this game if they play like that.
Well, with Brick Wall in net, boy, oh boy, what a great decision to give this kid a chance. And, he was our shining, piece of armor in the playoffs last year. He really gave us a chance to win almost every single game. And boy, oh boy, has he ever shined since coming in game 5. Love to see it. He played so fucking well last game. But yeah, really, really excited for to see how Joseph Woll plays tonight, how our team plays in front of him. We obviously need a full 60 minutes tonight. J-Dog likes to say that we only play 8 minutes. Jay, what do you think the Leafs have to do in front of Joseph Woll to get this win?
Well,
tonight?
hold on, Jamie. Hold on. Before you cut in, Jay, there is a rumor that Woll may not play tonight. And you're right. The team seems to play better with him in there. So, J-Dog, what do you think if Woll is playing? Is he not playing?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's playing in net tonight. No, it doesn't matter who's playing in net tonight because it's got to be 60 minutes of hockey. Boston's going to bring everything that they have. They're a physical team. They're a heavy hitting team, and they like to cut you off at the top of the circle. They don't allow shots into the net. You got to work your way into the net. None of this outside shooting stuff. You got to get into the greasy shit. You got to take a beating. You're going to get hit. You're going to get cross-checked. You're going to get punched in the face. You're going to get thrown on the ground. But if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to win. That's simple as that. You got to play the greasy, hard-nosed hockey, old school Don Cherry shit. That's it. That's the 60 minutes of it, right from start to finish.
Yeah, greasy is the optimal word for sure. Hey, Jamie, we got a greasy one off of McAvoy's McAvoy's knee last night. So Nylander off the knee and in. Sorry, not last night, the other night, obviously. And then we missed 2 breakaways, but then Nylander gets the 3rd breakaway. Greasy, not so greasy. Smooth like
that
grease,
was pretty skill. That was skill. That was a beauty goal. You're not going to get much better than that. That's highlight reel. That's top shit that you're going to see on TSN the next morning. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
That's what he gets paid to do, baby.
Yeah.
Well, what did I say about Nylander? That he was an asshole and I want him off my team. Yeah, I said that. And,
you're a little emotional sometimes.
But you know what, though? I'm a little bit emotional guy, right? And I really want this team. I want the best for them. I was disappointed in him. And you know what? He showed up. He's played well since coming in. So you know what? Obviously, we need all the help that we can get. We need all hands on board here, and that's what we've got tonight. And hey, we might as well talk about it. I even heard the
Jamie. First of all, you would make the worst GM ever. By the way,
I would. Well, that's why I'm a talk show host, right? Instead of a
you
GM.
Just sit there and talk about it.
Yeah, but yeah, Pappy is back. I heard as well. So all hands on deck tonight. I think that's just fantastic news. If he actually is back tonight, that's great for our team. We need him back. We need Nylander firing all cylinders. We need Marner to play a good game tonight. But and Tavares, we need our core 4 to really shine in this game. We really need to make an impact on the game. Dylan, what are your thoughts here with Pappy coming back, with Nylander starting to shine? Like, I'm getting excited here.
It's funny because a lot of people I talk to and a lot of the discussions online on the Facebook pages everywhere else is they kind of don't want Pappy to be back. I mean, this team has played so well without him. They put him in there, and how well is he going to do? There's been discussions that he had the flu and he's lost 15 pounds, and I mean, you guys have had the flu before. Like, you're not eating, it's hard to get your strength back after that, especially if it's like one of these COVID-like motherfuckers. Like, these things can really throw you on your ass and slap you around. And it's hard to, it can take weeks to get your breath right. If it's in your lungs, who knows? So if that's it, another rumor was that he was conkied. Just a lot of stupid shit going around. But he's in the building tonight. They've got the best medical staff in the entire universe working on him. So maybe he does go. We'll see. I guess. Yeah. J-Dog.
Hey.
Oh, I just think that he's. I think that they need to play like he's an average player. Stop looking for him, because that's exactly what happened. You know, when Riley was out, they didn't expect that power play to be run by him, quarterback by him. They didn't expect him to come up the ice with the puck. Obviously, you know, other people took turns. It wasn't the same person over and over and over again. And it's the same thing when they get playing against teams that play very well defensively. They look for the same pass, the same. It's going to the same spot, just like they do with Ovi, just like they do with Stamkos, just like. And where are they now? It's over. That kind of sitting on the side, you know, waiting for the puck for the big shot. You're going to get one of those a game if you're lucky. And I think with the way that Boston plays defense, they're right on you. There's no room. He won't be left alone. There's no chance. Somebody else better be willing to try and shoot the puck, and that's been their biggest problem. They just haven't shot the puck well enough, and they don't get in there and get after the puck right and smash into the goalie, smash into the defenseman. And
Boston's not letting them in, Jay.
Well, they got to get in. It doesn't matter.
Get through that.
You have
wall
of. You're a professional hockey player. You need to get in there and do it. And I mean, they did quite a bit of that in the last game. I was pretty impressed with them. But it's just like Matthews is not a physical guy. He's 6'4" and 240 pounds. There's no reason why he's not bulldozing every fucking player on that Boston team.
Yeah. It's got to be 16 men. Like every single player on the ice, every single player on the team. It doesn't matter like what position you're playing. We've got to play a sound hockey game to win this one. And you know, no banging and crashing. Play our game. Carry the puck. You know, and move it around. When we're successful, we do these things on a shift by shift basis. And I think if we play as well as we did in Game 6, I think we can get it done. I really, really think that we can. But yeah, like don't be looking for Poppy. Look for the open man, period. Right? Like don't look for one guy. Look for whoever's open. Bang and crash. Go to the front of the net. You know, get in front of Swayman. Like that's how to beat this team is to really just play with all of our players. We've got a great team. Like J-Dog always says, we're 3-4 lines deep, right? We've got to use all of our players to our advantage, and we've really got to dominate on a shift by shift basis tonight, because it can just be one shift that we don't play well enough, and then we lose the whole game, right? They score one quick goal on us, and that could be, you know, the difference maker. So we've got to really play this game on a shift by shift basis tonight. Dylan?
Yeah, well, that's a huge problem tonight, Jamie. Like when they get scored on, they seem to lose their legs, and especially being in Boston now, you know, the fans are going to try to step up and match the fan support that we got in Game 6, and even Keefe was impressed, and some of the players were just. Keefe said he couldn't even talk to the players after, just because of the roar of the cheer of the crowd. And I think, I don't know, maybe they heard us, boys. Like there was a lot of rumblings about the fans and how shitty we were. And they got out there and they got behind the team and they were cheering and they were chanting. That 4-minute power play almost killed the fan momentum. It seems like this fucking power play kills their momentum every time. They play a hard, fast game and then they get the power play. Like, why not just play hard and fast on the power play? You know? Like, what?
Yeah, or ask them to put it in the National Football League rules and decline the penalty.
At this point, right?
But yeah, no, the fans have responded though. Yeah, like boy, oh boy, like we had a couple of real key people in the media call out this group of fans, and boy, oh boy, did we ever shine up or show up and shine up for Game 6. Like one of the loudest crowds that I have seen in a Leaf building in a long time. In an awful long time.
Ever. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. They let in some blue collar fans, I guess. I don't know. Maybe the corporate people got shoved out. I know my friend was in the crowd, so she's pretty loud.
Well, you know what it could have been? It could have been that they were expecting that they were going to lose, and they all got shit-faced first, and then went out there to the game, and then, hey, wow, we're winning. Let's cheer, you know? Because I've been to quite a few games. I've probably been to about 45 to 50 games, like NHL games, Leaf games, and then a bunch of Ottawa ones as well. And like over the years, and there's just never been like it's always been fairly quiet. It's boring in that building. That was the best I've ever seen. And I'll be honest, I used to love going to the Ottawa games because the fans, like I remember actually I went to see Toronto back in the day when Alfie was playing for and Sundin was playing for Toronto. I went to see a playoff game there. I think it was a game 3 or game 4. I can't remember. Anyway, Toronto won, but I actually got sick because it was so loud. I puked on the bus afterwards because it actually, the rumbling on the inside just made me like sick to my stomach because it was so loud. I was screaming as well and whatever, but I had never been involved in any game that was that loud ever in my life. And that was in Ottawa. So I'd love to see that kind of, temperament, that kind of like joy, that kind of having a good time in Toronto. And you've just never seen it. And that's, to me, that was one of the best games I think I've ever seen as far as Toronto's concerned.
Love it. Love it. You wanted to play a video.
I wanted to. Well, we were talking about the fans here, boys. Like, get a load of this. Maybe they saw something like this pregame because this is just wicked. Let's get a little shot of this guy right here. This ought to get you fired up. This is for all the fans tonight who are watching the game.
Service time now. Why not us?
This song gets you fired up every time.
Well, the music's outstanding.
Let's go.
Let's go, Leafs.
I'm a sailor, hey, and I lost my leg. Climbing up the top sail.
Drop kick Murphys, baby.
Oh, look at this. Look at that. Look at these guys. Just a battle. Warriors.
Oh, we back at all the weeks of China. Big Pappy has given the Leafs the lead. And all make it by reach.
That was such a dive.
Right?
Yeah.
Shipping off to Boston. You gotta love it.
So, what do we think?
Yeah.
Are we talking what the score is going to be,
Let
or
me
what?
turn this down a bit. Hold on. Yeah. What's that?
Are we talking what the score is going to be, or what?
No, I don't want to. Who cares? Who cares what?
I kind of wanna. I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 2-1. And it's gonna be a close game. I really think this is gonna go to overtime, and I'm gonna say it's gonna go 6 periods, so 3 OTs. And I'm saying big old captain John Tavares, JT, gets the goal winner on a tip shot in front of the net.
He needs to get 2 tonight.
That's a big prediction. I honestly believe if the Leafs can withstand the first 4 minutes or 5 minutes of this game and not get scored on, I think it's going to be a 5-2, 5-3 game for the Leafs.
All right.
What about Nylander, boys? What's his?
He's getting. I think he's getting. Actually, I was just going to say that, and I'm thinking Nylander's looking at a hat trick tonight.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Nylander
prediction there by J-Dog.
Yeah.
He's got some swagger.
You see his interview after the game? He was so calm. He had the swagger was there. It was like, okay, so after they lost that game and we were all talking about what a shit interview from the coach, what a shit interview from the guys. Well, you know what? It's come back to bite us because they've won 2 games in a row. And now look at them. They weren't wrong. I hate to admit that I was wrong about something like that, but I was, and here we are.
Yeah, no,
I agree.
Nylander, he's been called out by everybody, right? And he's heard about it for the last 40 some odd games, to bring it. And I think he's bringing it. He's bringing it, and he's played really, really well the last couple. And I think that, he's going to bring it again tonight. 3 goals, bold statement. I'd love to see it. We need it, right? And we definitely need a bunch of goals tonight. But I'd love to see it. I really will. Nylander. Oh boy. Let's
What
have
about
him
the Rat? That
start
handshake
now.
line's going to be interesting with the Rat and all the boys tonight. There's no matter what, there's a handshake tonight, boys. And Revo's not there he's not in the lineup because Gregor was in the lineup actually.
He
so
played well.
Revo out.
He played well.
I thought he played really well. He was kind
Physical.
of a last minute. Dewar was in the lineup. These are the kind of hard hat guys that you want in the playoffs, man. And this is what we've been calling for the entire time. So I'm all for this lineup with or without Matthews. I'm a little nervous about Wall. I would never say with or without, because the goalie is a huge different mix. I would even go as far as to say throw Jones in there, right? Like, why not? Big and he will. Yeah,
I just thought that I don't think that if you look at the games that they lost, it wasn't the goalie's fault. I'm sorry, it was just a shitty defensive game and no defense, and they didn't score.
I disagree.
Goals.
That Frederick goal was a bad goal. The rebound when Brad Marchand took the shot and the rebound went in, that was a bad goal. He lets in it. Like, even if he lets in the goals that gets in the team's head, man. That's the problem.
You can't. One or two goals.
No. But the issue is the history.
Scores 5 goals a game, 6 goals a game all season. You're losing 4 or 3 or 4, like, whatever the scores were. I mean, they got empty netters and whatnot. So that really, they're only scoring 4 goals. Why is your team not scoring 5 and 6 goals a game like they do in the regular season? I know it's not the regular season. However, you still should be scoring at least 4 goals.
No, listen, though. I just don't feel like they're confident with him in the net, right? After the season, it's the history. When he lets in, they know what he's like. He gets rattled. They don't, like with Joseph Wall in there, he might let in a bad goal, but the team doesn't get nervous about it because they're not worried that Wall's going to have a mental collapse, right?
I totally agree.
Samsonov has a history of mental collapse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So, boys, okay. I don't really care who plays the net tonight because I seriously think this is our year. Who gives a shit who plays net tonight? Really? Samsonov, Wall, fucking Jones, fucking Zamboni driver. Seriously, I don't care. I really think that tonight is going to be our night. It don't matter if our team plays good in front of whatever goalie, right. We're going to get it done. We are, but we've got to play a sound defensive game. We can't be stupid in our own end. We can't be taking stupid-ass, dumbass penalties, right, that are pointless. We can't get this Boston team and Boston crowd to get us riled and pissed off and take a dumb penalty, because then we're in trouble. But if we can play a sound game, if we can keep our mind and our brains with it and play hard and good in front of our net and clear the front of the net, then we're going to get it done, boys. It don't matter who plays the net. It really don't matter.
What you just said there about clearing the front of the net, that's one of the most important things. If you watch Boston, the way they intimidate other teams, when they get close to the net, they start chunking at them, they're chopping at them, they're whacking them, they're pushing them, glove in the face, give them a little friggin' sweat face wash from the inside of that dirty old glove. And guys are putting like hot sauce on their gloves and shit like that. They
really?
Do that kind of
Is
stuff.
That a thing?
Oh yeah, fuck that. And
Red hot in the schnoz.
Oh yeah, so like
little eyeball burn.
It's like they do everything, man. And I just think that you gotta play the same. If you want to beat Boston, you gotta beat them at their own game. You gotta be physical. You gotta be greasy, and you gotta be fucking willing to fucking fight for every inch of ice from the time you get on the ice until time for you to get off. And that's the way you're going to come away with a win. You can't mail it in with these guys. You just can't. I think they're the most, probably in the top 3 physical teams in the league, and they're not the best team. That's the other thing. You got Vegas and Dallas battling it out right there. Physically, they're 2 of the most physical teams going. And then again, you look at the way that the Oilers are playing. Man, doesn't matter if you're physical or not. You got to catch those motherfuckers. They're flying right now. So it's going to be interesting. But you got to get past Boston first, and you got to do that 60 minutes. And if you're not willing to do it, it's not happening.
130, 140 hits a night, Jay. Like, that's a lot.
Can you imagine the amount of ice those motherfuckers are going through after every game?
And a beauty. It's been a beauty of a series. Let's kind of wrap it up here, boys. Last topic of the night. Series MVP so far. I got to say it. We acquired him in the offseason for this reason, for the playoffs. He's been an absolute beaut, just like his dad has always been. And I got to say, Max Domi has been an absolute beaut in this series. He's doing all the small things right. and he's making an impact on the ice every time he's on the ice, whether he's finishing that hit or he's making that solid pass or he's going to the net hard. He's playing with heart, he's playing with grit, and he's playing with determination. And I'm saying that he is the series MVP of this series. But yeah, really excited to hear your thoughts on this, toys. Let's go to Dylan. Dylan, who do you think is the series MVP so far? 6 games deep in this 7-game series.
Wow, it's a guy I've been on his ass all season chirping him because it's Matthew Knies, right? He's the guy who absolutely had high expectations in the early part of the year, and he had a great. Remember that he came into the playoffs fresh last year, so he has got some playoff experience for a rookie, and I just love his game right now. He's all over the ice. It's with intelligence. He's not just running around, but he's hitting guys. He's making plays. He's after the puck. He wants it, and I think the team is feeding off that desire. I don't know much about Knies, what he's like as a person, or you don't see him getting too involved in the nonsense between the whistles, but certainly from puck drop and between the other sides of the whistles, he is just been an absolute dominant force out there, and it's nice to see that because a team like this needs a guy who's going to take the attention off of the superstars and give the superstars an opportunity to do their job. And that's the fucking problem, is the superstars aren't doing their job. Have we named one superstar yet? We're 0 for 2 on the superstars.
All right, J-Dog, who do you think has been the MVP of the series?
I have to say the fourth line. This fourth line they haven't been getting scored on. They've scored a few goals. They're playing probably the best hockey they've played all year. You can't complain. They got scored on once, I think, where it was I think the one goal. It was kind of shitty. That's the one that Revo was playing, and he smashed his stick on the ice. That was unfortunate, though. It was a bad, it was a deflected puck and whatever. But for the most part, the fourth line, when you want to go deep in the playoffs, your fourth line has to play well. I totally agree with both the way you got both decisions you guys said as far as Domi and Knies. And even so, a little more so for Knies for me, especially in the last couple of games. And he has been getting a little bit feisty after the whistle, too, which has been kind of cool. He was giving it to Pasta the other night. And same thing with the midget there with that's not supposed to say that anymore. Sorry. The small person with the tail.
I don't think they really care. I think that's other people that care.
Yeah. Anyway, the rat was getting it from him as well. And I think that I like how but I still go back to the fourth line. They're doing more than expected of them, and if you want to go deep in the playoffs, you got to take some of that pressure off your top 2 lines, your top 3 lines, and they're doing it well. I think they're doing it very well, and they're very underrated as far as what they're doing. And people just don't talk about the fourth lines on any team enough, and it's why you go deep in the playoffs. Goaltending and fourth lines make a big difference.
Well, it's one of those years where you're not worried about who's out there. Everybody who's out there is getting the job done, and there's very little mistakes. They've been playing pretty mistake-free hockey. The stuff that goes in the net is just puck luck, stupid shit. And Boston hasn't made very many mistakes. The one thing I noticed, Jamie, and I want to get your opinion on this, if you saw this too, because I noticed that last game when we got the lead and Boston had to open it up, what the Leafs started doing is they saw the openings and their offensive instinct kicks in, and all they want to do is go 3 guys in, 3 guys deep on the offense, and then they get stuck in our zone, and then Boston comes back the other way. Swayman makes a big save. Like, I feel like they need to just reel that in a little bit if they do play with the lead, because I feel like they just want to go for that jugular, and if they miss that death shot, it's coming back the other way, and that's just not a good defensive strategy, in my opinion.
It's getting nervous, right? And these games mean so much right now, right? And it's do or die hockey, right? Mistakes are going to be made, but I think if they watch that video, and they've definitely been coached to that, they're not going to make that mistake again. But yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from, Dylan, and I noticed that as well. I just don't see that happening tonight. It's Game 7, baby, and we got to bring it. It's going to be interesting tonight. We'll go final thoughts. We're right at 30 minutes here. Everybody's going to want to grab some beers and get ready for the game. Final thoughts, boys. I'll throw it over to J-Dog. What's your final thoughts here?
Well, like I said, I think it's drink it up and probably enjoy. I think a very exciting game. I don't think this is going to be boring. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think there's going to be at least 6 or 7 goals scored in this game, and I think they're going to be greasy. I think Nylander and Big Pappy might get 1 or 2 each that are going to be something you're going to see on the highlight reels. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And then after that. It's gonna be smash and bang, and it's gonna look like LA when there's a riot, and like smash and grab and take everything you can. As far as the other goals are concerned, I just think you got to get greasy with these guys, and you got to match their physicality. They did that the last game, and if they do it again this time, and with Big Pappy in the lineup, I think that it's gonna be. I think that the sales were blown out of Boston on the last game. I didn't see a good look coming from Boston. They looked defeated, and the game before that was pretty much the same. So they were surprised. It was more surprised the second last game. Last game, it was like, fuck, we're going down in a ball of fire.
Yeah. All right, Dylan, last minute thoughts, and I'll close the show.
Perfect segue. Perfect segue, Jay, because I was going to say that this Boston team they're feeling the pressure. It's their pressure. They're the ones who the fans are going to be on them. And if the Leafs can stick to their game, look, they're dominant in the faceoff. If they can control the puck like they have been, if they get the puck into the offensive zone and keep that offensive zone time and that offensive pressure, wear down Swayman and the defense, it's going to take the building right out of here. It's going to suck the life out of that building. And then the pressure is going to even mount even more on this Boston team. There's no pressure on the Leafs. They won the last 2. They got to go out there. They've got all the momentum. I think that it's Boston's to lose, and we've got them right where we need them. So we got to just get the job done. Take them down. Let's go.
All right. Woo! All right. Well, last thing I'm going to say, payback's a bitch. Go Leafs, go. It's over a year. Let's get it done. I wanted to also say thanks for tuning in tonight. Keep your head up. Let's get ready. Get pumped, Leaf Nation. It's our Game 7. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you next time.